turns from hurricane to tropical storm to nor'easter, walloping parts of Maine with strong winds and rain. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sam Rogers.
And I'm Amanda Hill. Welcome to this Storm Center edition of News Center Maine at 6. We have team coverage tonight to bring you the latest on Lee's impact in Maine. Our crews are out across the state tracking storm conditions, damage, and power outages. Right now, let's head to meteorologist Jason Nappy, though, first for a look at what we can expect tonight. Jason.
Yeah, a lot still going on. Here's a picture of the southern coast, best I could do on the southern coast, of some obvious splashover happening from the storm, I'll call it Storm Lee. There's so many names to this storm, but yeah, big time splashover. There's some inundation, there's some flooding, there's also
Here is information about a flash flood warning for the following counties: Hancock and Washington. The National Weather Service in Caribou has issued a flash flood warning for East Central Hancock County in southeastern Maine, southwestern Washington County in southeastern Maine until 9:00 p.m. At 5:57 p.m., Doppler radar and automated rain gauges indicated heavy rain falling across the warned area. Between 3 and 4 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 1.5 inches are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard: flash flooding caused by heavy rain. Source: radar and automated gauges. Impact: flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage and low-lying areas. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include Machias, Cherryfield, Jonesport, Steuben, Harrington, Jonesboro, Columbia Falls, Columbia, Deblu, Gilbridge, Centerville, Franklin, Goodsboro, Addison, Sullivan, Winter Harbor, Beals, Roque Bluffs, Whitnerville, and Northfield. This includes the following streams and drainages: West Branch Narragansett River, Southwest Branch Indian River, East Branch Chandler River, West Branch Pleasant River, Little River, Indian River, Crotch Camp Brook, Pleasant Bay, Chandler River, Tunk Stream, Keith Brook, Pleasant River, Bells Brook, Taylor Branch, Northwest Branch Montegale Stream, Narragansett Bay, Frenchman Bay, Coal Creek, Morency Stream, Atlantic Ocean, Curtis Creek, Lamson Brook, Old Stream, New Stream, Tenney Brook, Trout Brook, East Machias River, Western Little River, Englishman Bay, Flanders Stream, Libby Brook, Beaver Brook, Danhill Brook, Machias River, Pecky Brook.
Police first arrived, but they could not get to him right away because of a downed power line. Once CMP shut the power down, first responders got to the man, but he was no longer breathing. Police are not releasing his name until they can notify his family. Communities along the coast are certainly feeling the brunt of this nor'easter.
And that includes Bar Harbor, where we find meteorologist Dana Osgood. Dana, are the winds starting to die down there yet?
I wish I could say so, Sam and Amanda. I've been out here for the past couple of minutes, and the wind and the rain has just continued to drive kind of right into my face here. That's a pretty good gust coming towards me. I'm trying to get a look at the anemometer to see how high that gust is. Looked to be between 15 and 20. Looks like the anemometer's got some water in it. But the good news is that we are expecting the rain and wind to let up a little bit. The wind especially once we head after sunset, which is coming up pretty soon. But overall, it has been a very rainy and very windy day here in Down East. The good news also is that we are past high tide, so the waves have started to recede a little bit. Still got some pretty choppy seas out there. At this point, we've gotten over, wow, that's a pretty good one, right in my eyes. Gotten over an inch and a half of rain, and some wind gusts that have been at tropical storm strength. So we're going to keep monitoring this, but the good news is that we've only got a couple hours of the extreme weather left. Man, this is pretty That is very, very windy. Sam and Amanda, I hope you guys are dry in there and it's not windy in the studio today.
Luckily, it is not windy in here, Amanda.
Sorry.
All right, Dana, thank you so much. Well, Lee moved east as it came to our neck of the woods, sparing much of Maine from the worst of the storm.
Things were different far east, though. They have been dealing with some serious wind and rain there. News Center Maine's Donovan Lynch joins us live from Rogue Bluffs State Park with the latest there. Hi, Donovan.
Hi, Sam and Amanda, and I'm here in Rogue Bluffs, which is really in the heart of Washington County, which has bore the brunt of today's storm, and we've been all over down East Maine, and the story has been largely the same. Driving rain and relentless winds with heavy gusts. I mean, there have been times that I had trouble just standing up, and the result of that has been flooding on some roads. There have been some washouts that we've seen even just getting over here. Really large, gargantuan waves, especially in West Quoddy Lighthouse, and of course the downed trees, and that is really the biggest impact when it comes to the people of Washington County. You said we have 32,000 outages with Versant Power, and you know, we experienced that firsthand. We were at a hardware store in Lubec and the lights went out, and that's an experience that unfortunately a lot of people and a lot of businesses across down East Maine are dealing with this evening. So the question now as the storm moves out is how soon before the lights come back on? Sam and Amanda?
All right, Donovan Lynch live at Rogue Bluffs State Park there. Thank you, Donovan. And in southern Maine, there really hasn't been much rain, but plenty of wind causing some power outages.
Yeah, that's for sure. And our Chris Costa is live in Scarborough for us, where crews are restoring power right now. Hey, Chris.
Well, Sam and Amanda, they actually just wrapped up. We just saw all those power crews from Ontario helping out Central Maine Power. They just restored the power here on Fog Road. We're about 2 miles from Higgins Beach. What was the culprit here? This massive tree. Take a look at this as we kind of walk along the length. Before the tree crews that were here as well cut it all up, they told us that it was about 60 feet minimum in height. And take a look at the trunk, absolutely splintered. And this is all because of that recipe that our meteorologists have been warning us about, right? A saturated ground, strong wind, and all the leaves on the branches catching that wind and toppling those trees right onto power lines. We also checked in with the Cumberland County and York County emergency management agencies today. They say that this wind and the power outages, that has been the story here in southern Maine, and they all agree that really this area has been spared the worst of the storm.
It hasn't been bad. I came in early this morning expecting a bad, storm. We have some winds, really didn't get any rain to speak of. Didn't have a whole lot of trees down. We didn't have any boating issues at all, which makes me very happy.
So Fog Road closed right now. I'm expecting it's going to open here just about any minute. The other issue that Scarborough police had told us about was the strong surf. We heard that from the EMA staff as well. They actually had to close parts of the roads that went into Higgins Beach because of that strong surf. Some waves estimated at 10 to 15 feet with some strong splash over. The reason they had to close the roads, not just because of the danger, but also because of so many people who wanted to go see this post-tropical cyclone Lee put on a show. We're live in Scarborough tonight. Sam and Amanda, back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Well, there is much more Storm Center to come tonight.
Up next, we will have the latest from Maine airports about how today's nor'easter is affecting flights.
Hi, folks. Joe Namath here. If you're on Medicare and Medicaid or new to Medicare, you can call and check your zip code for a Medicare Advantage plan that may have extra benefits and may save you money. It's so easy. 1, call the number at the bottom of your screen. 2, they'll check for Medicare Advantage plans that may offer lower copays, transportation benefits, prescriptions, and dental coverage for fillings, extractions, even dentures. Plus, the Part B premium reduction benefit that can add money back to your Social Security check every month. 3, you'll find out if you're eligible for certain plans that include an allowance for rent, groceries, and utility bills for qualifying individuals.
I just became eligible for Medicare, so I called to see what plans were available in my area.
Get what you deserve. Call now.
If you're on Medicare and Medicaid or new to Medicare, call to speak to a licensed insurance agent.
Call 1-800-773-1690. Call now. What was it like before Viasat satellite internet? 2 words. Not fun.
Log off, I've got homework.
No, wait, still my turn.
We couldn't share the internet. Time's up. Sharing's caring. But now with Viasat's new plans, we have plenty of internet for everyone. Except you, babe. Being rude.
More data, faster speeds, available where you live. Learn more about our plans at Viasat.com.
911, what's your emergency?
Riveting whodunits.
You could apply just about every one of the 7 deadly sins to this homicide.
Puzzling mysteries.
Did she get kidnapped? Did somebody pick her up on the road?
We knew there was a murderer still out there. And iconic true crime series.
The victims are never forgotten. I want to provide closure to family.
There's only one destination. To stream your fascination. The True Crime Network. Download the free app.
Recipes that will wow the whole family. Cooking with Styles.
Welcome back. If you are flying this weekend, you'll want to check with your airline before you leave home.
Yeah, well, that's because about half the flights in and out of the Portland Jetport and the Bangor International Airport have been canceled so far today because of the storm. Officials at the Jetport say they're keeping track of the forecast and working with the airlines and the Federal Aviation Administration to decide when it is safe to operate flights.
A man from Sanford who'd been missing since Thursday was found trapped inside his car in New Hampshire today. Police in Dover, New Hampshire say some people walking in the woods found Robert Brown in his vehicle near River Street and Washington Street around 2:30 this afternoon. They say Brown was trapped when his car slid down an embankment. He was taken to the hospital. He is recovering. Police in Sanford and in Dover are still investigating. Mainers today are honoring the memory of Fire Captain Michael Bell, who died in that deadly explosion in Farmington 4 years ago today. 6 other firefighters and a maintenance worker were also hurt.
It happened at Leap Incorporated, which is a nonprofit that supports people with disabilities. Captain Bell is credited with saving lives by getting people out of the building before that explosion. The state fire marshal's office found a propane leak caused the blast. The report traced the leak to a severed line that crews hit while drilling posts into the ground near the building. The explosion led to multiple lawsuits, even changes to state law. To mark the anniversary, Farmington Fire and Rescue posted a tribute on Facebook, saying the loss of Captain Bell changed their department and their community forever. They add they're grateful to their community and to firefighters around the state who have shown them so much support. Okay, still to come, we'll meet a Mainer who knows firsthand about dealing with downed power lines close to home.
And Jason Nappy is back with his full forecast, including what the remnants of Lee have in store for us. Our Storm Center coverage returns in a moment.
When you're living with diabetes, you have to work constantly. Or you can let the MiniMed 780G system do most of the work for you. It's the only system with meal detection technology that automatically adjusts and corrects sugar levels every 5 minutes. So even if you undercount your carbs or occasionally miss a meal dose, the system helps prevent highs and lows 24/7. The MiniMed 780G system, designed for real life.
Hi, folks. Joe Namath here. If you're on Medicare and Medicaid or new to Medicare, you can call and check your zip code for a Medicare Advantage plan that may have extra benefits and may save you money. It's so easy. 1, call the number at the bottom of your screen. 2, they'll check for Medicare Advantage plans that may offer lower copays, transportation benefits, prescriptions, and dental coverage for fillings, extractions, even dentures. Plus, the Part B premium reduction benefit that can add money back to your Social Security check every month. 3, you'll find out if you're eligible for certain plans that include an allowance for rent, groceries, and utility bills for qualifying individuals.
I just became eligible for Medicare, so I called to see what plans were available in my area.
Get what you deserve. Call now.
If you're on Medicare and Medicaid or new to Medicare, call to speak to a licensed insurance agent.
Call 1-800-773-1690. Call now.
Got a new house,
finally found a place that I call home.
The most chilling real-life murder cases are back on the stand.
Everybody thought that she had something to do with this.
Hair in the back of my neck stood up. We, the jury, find the defendant.
Killer Cases, Season 3, now streaming free on the True Crime Network app.
Welcome to our streaming channel. Here you can catch up on all the latest news, weather, and sports you need. Everything you love about local, plus so much more.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Jason Appy is here with his full forecast. Jason, we just saw our crews all around the state having a lot of, issues with the rain and wind still.
Yeah, because I did the analogy yesterday. I don't know if it was with you, Amanda, or not, of a lopsided sandwich. That's what the storm turned into. Okay, think about like all the turkey and the turkey sandwiches on one side of the bread. Well, that's the side we got. We got all the meat to this storm. Well, I should say down east got it. Down east got that lopsided part of the storm. They are still getting, as you saw from Dana and you saw from Donovan, they're getting the brunt still of this storm. This would not be the meat of the storm, but it looks nice. This was me, or at least me taking a picture of a little bit of a splashover going on at Middle Beach, Kennebunk. I promise it wasn't that bad. But it's the best I could do in the southern coast. It was more bark than bite, as Chief Meteorologist Todd Guttner put it so eloquently this morning. That's what it was for us on the south. But down east, they got it. So Lee is going to exit stage right. Impacts will begin to lessen. The last bits of summer tomorrow. We're making a run for 80 along the coast, right? And then it's going to be ending better than it began. I promise you, the end of summer coming this week. Officially, as fall starts on Saturday. Wind gust Perry, right there, Washington County, right very close to the Canadian border, 83. That's a bona fide, real deal hurricane force gust from a post-tropical storm, okay? Forget about the names. That's what happened. 60s and 50s elsewhere. And then other places, not as much, 40s and 50s, but still, I mean, bringing down trees, power lines, taking a beating as the storm is behind me in Nova Scotia, little landfall western Nova Scotia, sustained wind close to 30 in Portland, and then here we go with the gusts still howling in Holton, Caribou, Bar Harbor, Bangor, 38. So the waves, one part of the story, around Halifax, 20 to 30 estimation going on. There's a buoy south there of 23, so you'd believe close to 30. And along the Maine coastline, you're seeing those breakers come in close to 12 feet, 3 feet, 7 feet, depending on where you are. Warnings are up, and we've got a flash flood warning. That's another wrinkle to the storm for down east along the coastline. You gotta watch out there. You could really run into some problems, especially if there are some power lines down with the flash flooding. How about the flash flood warning, but also the rain bands here still going and going down east. Heavy rain. If you're writing in saying we didn't get the storm, well, then you clearly are not down east. Look at Jonesport and Millbridge. That is the northwest corner. That's the meat of the storm on the lopsided version that is just sitting over Jonesport right now, dumping that training rainfall that is going to cause flash flooding issues the next few hours into 9 o'clock. For the Mariners tomorrow, it sees at 3 to 7 feet. Things obviously go down considerably. The next 3 days, we have, I'm going to call it hot at the coast, making a run for 80 tomorrow. And then more rain gets in here Monday to Tuesday. I can tell you that the rain Monday to Tuesday for western and southern Maine that didn't get much today, this is going to be more than 2 inches of rain coming on to basically end summer, which officially ends on Friday. Which why not? How about 70 degrees, a low of 52? The stuff you dream about, around here in September, right?
Yeah, we like that. I mean, the temperatures, but all that rain is.
And it's always amazing to me, like looking at the images and videos from down east, how 12 hours from now it's going to be nearly a perfect Sunday.
Tomorrow is going to be, you would never know, except for all the debris and damage that people are cleaning up from.
Right. All right, Jason. Thank you so much. Well, the storm isn't quite done with us, so we're not done with Storm Center.
Coming up, we'll check in with our teams out in the elements and see how people are dealing with downed lines.
Attention military personnel, families, and civilians who were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987. If you or a loved one lived, worked, or served at Camp Lejeune, call the Victims Justice Group now. You may be entitled to significant compensation. The U.S. government recently passed a law allowing servicemen and women, their family members, and civilian workers who lived or worked on the base at Camp Lejeune for at least 30 days to seek justice for injuries caused by toxic water. If you or a loved one suffered injuries associated with the toxic water at Camp Lejeune, including bladder, kidney, or liver cancer, multiple myeloma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, Parkinson's disease, adult leukemia, or aplastic anemia, call the Victims Justice Group now. Our attorneys will fight to get you the compensation you deserve for your pain and suffering. Military personnel, their families, and civilian workers who served, lived, or worked at Camp Lejeune from August 1953 to December 1987 may be eligible for compensation. Don't wait. Call our helpline now.
Hi, folks. Joe Namath here. If you're on Medicare and Medicaid or new to Medicare, you can call and check your zip code for a Medicare Advantage plan that may have extra benefits and may save you money. It's so easy. 1, call the number at the bottom of your screen. 2, they'll check for Medicare Advantage plans that may offer lower copays, transportation benefits, prescriptions, and dental coverage for fillings, extractions, even dentures. Plus, the Part B premium reduction benefit that can add money back to your Social Security check every month. 3, you'll find out if you're eligible for certain plans that include an allowance for rent, groceries, and utility bills for qualifying individuals.
I just became eligible for Medicare, so I called to see what plans were available in my area.
Get what you deserve. Call now.
If you're on Medicare and Medicaid or new to Medicare, call to speak to a licensed insurance agent.
Call 1-800-773-1690. Call now.
Mom Squad, every week, right here on your streaming app.
Definitely be careful if you are headed out tonight. There are downed trees and lines all around the state.
News Center Maine's Raya Wooten is checking in on the power line situation in the Orono area.
Amanda and Sam, I'm here in Orono with homeowner Allison. Tell me how long this downed tree next to your house has been down.
It's been down at least a few hours. We went to the grocery store this morning, and when we came home, the cones were up, and there was a Versant Power van here, not their truck, but the van, kind of checking it out and seeing how, probably making sure things were safe.
And you told me you did lose power. How long were you without power?
We were only without power for about 10 minutes, and then it came right back on, and we've had power since.
That is so good to hear. Now, we are continuing this storm damage. MEMA is suggesting that people stay indoors and staying clear of the downed trees, of the downed power lines. I'm going to walk you over to the downed power line that's over next door to her home. And Allison, you get on back in. Stay safe in this weather. Now, I'm going to walk carefully here because I want to make sure that I'm safe, but the downed tree in the power line is over in this area. As I approach it, you can see that this tree has yanked the power line completely down, and the tree is on the ground. The power line is also on the ground. I'm going to get a little closer and step out of the shot so you can get a full view and extent of this damage that is here. Now, this power line is also leaning over to the left of me due to the tree pulling the power line down. This is very dangerous. Down power lines, sometimes they tend to spark. So what we like to see is that at some point, when the storm calms down, Versant will be able to get out and start to clear up some of this damage. Several customers are without power. Versant has said that they cannot continue to make restorations until the winds get below 30 miles per hour. MEMA again is still suggesting that you stay indoors, stay clear of the storm damage. If you do have to get out, do not go near the downed power lines. Also, do not go near downed trees. We're going to continue to keep you updated on everything in the field. And Raya Wooten and Orono, back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you, Raya. We'll be right back for a last check of storm conditions around the state.
Attention military personnel, families, and civilians who were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987. If you or a loved one lived, worked, or served at Camp Lejeune, call the Victims Justice Group now. You may be entitled to significant compensation. The U.S. government recently passed a law allowing servicemen and women, their family members, and civilian workers who lived or worked on the base at Camp Lejeune for at least 30 days to seek justice for injuries caused by toxic water. If you or a loved one suffered injuries associated with the toxic water at Camp Lejeune, including bladder, kidney, or liver cancer, multiple myeloma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, Parkinson's disease, adult leukemia, or aplastic anemia, call the Victims Justice Group now. Our attorneys will fight to get you the compensation you deserve for your pain and suffering. Military personnel, their families, and civilian workers who served, lived, or worked at Camp Lejeune from August 1953 to December 1987 may be eligible for compensation. Don't wait. Call our helpline now.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Loved ones taken too soon. Their killers still walking free. But for these victims, justice is finally coming. Finally Caught. Now streaming free on the True Crime Network app.
Got a new house. I think I finally found a place that I call home.
Maine meteorologist Dana Osgood here in Bar Harbor, and we have been pelted with rain and wind for much of the day today thanks to post-tropical storm Lee. As you can see, the waves aren't super high right now, but the seas are pretty choppy. You can see those white caps out there. Now, we have been experiencing high winds throughout the day today, at some point gusting to tropical storm force winds, and that has continued for much of the day today, and we are expecting to see those winds continue at least until sundown, where things will start to get a little bit better. I'm News Center Maine meteorologist Dana Osgood.
Well, we're here in down east Maine, and the storm is not done with us. For several hours now, driving winds and very hard rain has been falling, and it's been causing serious power outages across Washington County. And as we go into this night, we're going to have to contend with the conditions of real flooding threats moving into tomorrow. I'm Donovan Lynch, News Center Maine.
I'm Chris Costa here in Scarborough, and this has been the story in southern Maine. Wind taking down big trees, knocking out power. Look at that tree trunk, absolutely splintered when this tree that power crews estimated was at least 60 feet tall, toppled onto some power lines here on Fog Road. The other issue in southern Maine, the strong surf. York County and Cumberland County EMA say they had to close roads that went to beaches because of the strong surf and splash over. In Scarborough, Chris Costa, News Center Maine.
And on that note, a final look at the number of outages right now. CMP reporting about 47,000 customers without power versus close to 30,000. And Jason, let's wrap things up with the final weather here.
It looked like that number maybe have come down a little bit. Maybe some people are getting, the crews are out working in this, which is amazing, remarkable. I mean, you're going to get your power back on. You can't get your life back. So I just say, look, caution this evening. Tomorrow is a completely different day. Light breeze, hot at the coast. And then we're going to get a bunch of rain, 1 to 2 inches plus Monday night to Tuesday early from another storm. It will not be obviously Lee or anything like that, but it will be definitely a rainstorm and definitely rain we don't need. However, it's not going to bring 50 or 60 or in Perry's case in eastern Maine, 83-mile-an-hour winds. So that rain is coming. It will be a widespread kind of statewide rain, though, unlike western Maine today. It didn't get really any.
Right. Well, and hey, a quick reminder that you can stay up to date on this storm by downloading the free News Center Maine app. You'll find it in the App Store and in Google Play. And that's how we're going to leave you tonight. Thank you so much for being with us on this Storm Center edition of News Center Maine at 6.
Stay safe and have a great night.
Patriots watching. Better with Pepsi.